celebrity crush? Like all time.
Oh my God, all time?
Mm-hmm.
JTT. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh, I was in love.
And he just like disappeared off the face of the earth.
Where
What
did he
happened
even
to
go?
him? I don't know.
Have you seen anything he's in?
I don't think
What
he's
was the
in
last
anything.
movie that you saw that he was in?
Oh, well, I mean, it would have been
Yeah.
the Turtle movie or whatever.
The Turtle
ninjas.
movie.
I mean, the ninjas. The three brothers.
Yeah.
They were ninjas.
Oh, I don't know that one. I remember, actually, I didn't need another one because I watched, what was it? The Three Brothers, Wild America.
Oh, sure. Yep.
Just put that on
so
repeat.
Great. So great.
I did not watch that.
Teenage years
Thank
fulfilled.
you.
I think it's probably. I think the last one I watched with JTT was The Lion King when he was like a kid.
Oh,
like
sure.
I don't,
That's
because
funny.
That's when I got obsessed with him.
Oh, like the
'Cause he was the
voiceover?
voice,
Like,
yeah.
Him as a lion.
So
Well,
you
no.
didn't even get to look at him?
No, but I thought that was actually him singing, and then I found out later that it wasn't.
Oh.
So I was real bummed out. And then I think I had a crush on Elijah Wood for like a minute.
Sure.
Of course you would. That creeper.
Yeah, he's so weird looking.
So I had
All time. I don't know.
You don't know? Mm-mm. Do you know? So is it really?
Oh,
Jonathan
no.
Taylor Johnson?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have to think about it.
Yeah.
It would probably be something that surprised me
Right?
that I wouldn't necessarily think.
So
For a long time, it was Andy Samberg.
one time we went to New York, me and Jordan, and we were hanging out with his childhood. Now that I look back on it, I'm like, dude, you have a freaking cool wife. We were hanging out with these Russian girls, like blonde beauties
Oh,
that
my.
Jordan grew up with. And I just called her up and I was like, hey, we're coming to New York. You want to get together?
I think I've seen a movie like this. And
Oh.
It didn't go well.
Well, I mean, if it didn't go well, I do not know about it. But we went and we hung out with these girls. They just spoiled us like crazy.
That's fun.
And it was one of the funnest nights ever. And she was also, one of them was married to an author. So I feel like she had kind of a status in New York. And actually, we were at her apartment, not even her house.
Oh, wow.
Like she had a separate house. And I remember her saying, we're going to go to this club and Andy's going to get us in. And she said, like, Andy, something that sounded like Sandberg. And I was thanking you because I knew you at this
Back
time.
then,
I was like, oh my God. Like fangirling big time. But it wasn't. It was like, I don't
Somebody
know.
else.
Who knows? Who knows?
Some other
what-
Jewish Andy.
But yes, I thought I'm going to see him. And all I could think about was like,
It's gonna
I
crush
can't,
Jamie.
Yeah. Can't wait to tell Jamie.
Do you want to hear something crazy? Remember we were talking about Joanna Newsom? Yeah. Okay, so these were two separate worlds that I did not know existed together.
Okay.
I was in love with her and her music. I had the biggest crush on him. And then I found out later they got married to each other.
Oh, wow.
I mean, fate is
you
on
have
Jamie's
like
side.
a type both directions.
I know. Like, my woman would be Emily Blunt.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love her.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because her and Ryan Gosling were just in a movie. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but I did get multiple phone calls when Paul Walker died.
Oh, people.
Why?
were
Did you love
calling me.
him?
Yes.
People
Oh
were
my
you
God.
worried about
I remember walking down the aisles in Walmart
multiple.
and people calling me saying, I'm sorry.
Are you okay? Are you doing okay?
But then after that, I had to think about it, and it's always been Jason Bateman.
Really?
I know. How do you go from Paul Walker to
Hold
Jason
on.
Bateman?
Since when?
Like, since Paul. I mean, the week after.
Oh, did you ever watch Arrested Development?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love
That's
him.
fun.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that, and I'm telling you all about Smartless.
No. No,
I'm like, you should
listen
know.
to two podcasts, and Smartless is one of them.
Okay.
I am trying to get on yours, but I
What's the one
haven't.
you- Listen.
Experts on Experts with Dak Shepard. Armchair Experts.
Yes,
I don't
yes,
even
I
know how
have
to
listened
search the
his a little
names
bit.
of
Sure.
all this.
Sure.
Because
yep.
it's not
He
called
has-
that, is it?
yeah, They
It's
have
called
a
the
couple
Armchair
different-
Podcast.
Right. But where does experts on
So
experts
it's
and
only on
girls on girls?
Spotify.
Do you
There
not
are
just
no
use
girls
your
on girls.
podcast app? I mean, I don't.
So
There's,
Megan,
they're
no.
only on
Or, yeah,
Spotify now.
Oh,
Megan told
really?
me she liked the.
The girls.
Yes. So that's where the girls on girls came from. Like the other night, they were talking about. It's the only one I've listened to all the way through was two of I don't even know who they
So
are.
I think that one. So the co-host of Dax's show is Monica.
Okay.
And Monica and Kristen Bell
Okay.
have a podcast.
But Kristen Bell, I hope, is still married to Dak Shepard, correct?
Yes.
Then it wasn't these girls.
Oh, okay.
Because they were talking about two double blind dates that they just went on.
That sounds fun.
I know, right? I'm like, dang, I'm not single. Like I can't do that. Can my friends, are there any single friends that can do
Find
that?
some friends.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jason Bateman for you, and
Yes.
you have to think about yours.
Yeah,
I guess I have to
I'm
think about
drawing a
mine too.
blank.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
drawing
okay.
a blank.
I just am drawn towards the goofy people.
Sure. You like
Yeah.
that humor.
Yeah,
Sure.
that gets me. There's some joke. It's probably on Instagram somewhere. I don't know, but it's like, watch out for those funny guys because one minute you'll be laughing your ass off, and the next minute, boom, you're naked. That's great.
I need to follow what you follow. Like I follow all
I
interior
honestly
design.
don't know
Right.
if I saw that on Instagram. I've just known about that joke for a long time. I don't know why. I guess because I like funny people. I don't know.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like it.
Do we have a favorite band of all time?
Oh, God.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
too
Did
hard.
you
Of
go
all
listen
time.
to Sudan?
I
Archives?
haven't yet.
No problem.
They're probably mine, and I don't know it yet.
What about you?
I figured it out.
MGMT?
No.
No.
You know?
The Beatles.
Really?
Oh, well.
That's cool.
Because
There
I
you go.
was obsessed with them for the longest time. And I always go back to them. Always. Like, if I can't find anything that I just want to listen to, or like, I don't want to search and dig and find, I'll just ask Siri to play the
go-to.
Beatles. And then I'm happy.
Yeah. I
Never regret it.
I can see that about you for sure. I'm like Britney Spears' Toxic album.
It's an easy go-to.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a lot like the Beatles. Anytime I can't think of what to play, I'll play either Johnny Swim or Mumford and Sons.
I love Mumford.
Like, it's just an easy go-to. So maybe that's my favorite.
I love Mumford. Johnny Swims, I hate to say this, but I've kind of always been the one to go against the grain. Like, as far as popularity, like, if somebody's popular, I'm like
if it's on the radio, I get pissed.
Yeah, like freaking Britney Spears.
or Billie Eilish. So I'm kind of like eating my words because last time I'm all, ooh, Billie Eilish. But
No, yeah. That did surprise me.
Yeah,
I know.
but-
Your music.
he sounds so much like Chris Stapleton to me.
Oh, okay.
And it's
I
like,
could see that.
I don't know. I feel like I heard Chris Stapleton so many times.
Sure.
Like, just all the time. And I
Anywhere
never
you
wanted
go.
to hear him. I
Sure.
never wanted any of those songs to be playing, but they were just always playing somewhere.
Yeah.
Somebody always had a song on by him. And I was like, all right, that's enough. I get it. You're a bluesy white guy. Cool. And I feel like Johnny Swims is like that. No offense.
Yeah. Nobody
none
likes the
taken.
Ryan Gosling band either. Like I feel like I'm the only one
I have
who
one
likes
of
gonna
their
have to
songs.
listen to
Do you know
this.
which song? So there's probably My Body's a Zombie for You.
That's it.
Oh, my.
Okay, yes. That is with like a kids choir.
my.
It's pretty great. I love that one.
So,
But-
like, what years was this?
I'm gonna
like,
say,
does
like,
he still do music?
I don't know if he still has this band, but I want to say this album probably came out, if I had to guess, That's another thing that I'm really impressed by with myself, just FYI. I know we're not talking about that, but I'm going to add another thing. I'm really good at guessing what years movies and albums came out.
Nice. Okay, I'll look it up
I'm
right
going to say
now.
2008.
For My Body's a Zombie for You?
Or just, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's see.
Let's look at that one.
This is
Okay.
a fun game.
All right, so... I don't even know where to look.
Just Google it. Here, I'll look it up. Maybe. Hold on.
What's the last thing you added to your music? Or do you do that?
I will say after the last session we had, I went and listened to Billie Eilish's new stuff, and I dig it. I dig it.
I need to go listen.
There's actually, after I listened to the album a few times, I think there's like 2 songs that I really like. All the other ones I'm like, okay.
Sure.
That's 2009.
Nice.
I mean, that's as close as
That's
it
pretty
gets.
dang good.
Oh my gosh.
What's the last song you added to your music?
Okay.
We should do this every week.
Yes.
Ooh.
That way we're staying on top of our game.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Alicia, get some game.
I gotta find my game.
Okay, it's a song called Pop, Pop, Pop by Idols.
Okay.
It's a punk British band.
I like it.
Oi, oi, oi.
Wee. Yes. I like it. Mine was Home by Good Neighbors.
Okay.
Okay.
I wonder if you played it, or do we have to just
You know, Johnny Swim sings a song called Home.
Really? Just kidding.
Mumford and Son does, don't they? No, they don't.
Well, maybe it might be in there somewhere.
Mumford and Sons. By the way, did you know the lead singer of that band is married to Carrie Mulligan, who I love?
That is she in Drive?
Was she?
I'm curious.
She was in a movie with him, I think.
Yeah. Let's see.
I know she was in Maestro with Bradley Cooper, that one that just came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't
a good
she the
one.
mom in Drive?
I thought she was the girl, like
Let's-
the girl. I'm pretty sure
In
she
Drive?
Let's keep saying Drive. Carrie Mulligan, who's her character?
Yeah. I nailed it.
Okay, good job.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, she's married to the lead singer of Mumford and Sons.
Wow.
I'm all Josh Mumford. I don't even know if that's his name, but
Sounds
Just
right.
spit it out there. Yeah.
John.
John.
Jingleheimer Schmidt. This is fun. You know what else is fun?
Yeah.
Valerie.
Oh, yes, she is.
Yes.
I'm so excited to share this with you guys because she's really incredible. And so Valerie is my boss, and more than that, we've known each other for a very long time, and I'm so thankful because she knows me because of how much I share with her. She knows me better than my parents or my husband or most anybody, really.
So, can I ask how you met her?
Sure. So she used to work at Trinity Fellowship.
Okay.
And I was going to church there, and she said, you should volunteer, because that's what she does. She sees people and makes them do stuff. Yeah, she's real good at it. Yeah. And I said no. Because that's what I did.
I'm really good at
Yeah.
You're really good at saying no.
And but eventually I started volunteering for like their 5th and 6th grade extreme kids, something like that, and like went on a couple of camps as a counselor, which was so fun. Those kids are so cool.
Love
it's
it.
a neat age for sure. Like still innocent and kind, but also
Learning
still
to be
knowing too
independent.
much stuff
Oh, yeah.
already.
Yeah.
So I volunteered under her for a while and then stopped going to Trinity. She also stopped going to Trinity. We did different things for a while. And then one day, out of the blue, she called me and said, hey, I have a job for you. And I said, okay, what is it? She's like, I don't know,
But I have something.
but you should do
Yes.
it.
Okay.
She was at Faith City Ministries, and I think it was called Ministries then. It might be Faith City Missions now.
Yeah.
But and so she hired me to be social media, graphic design extraordinaire.
Nice.
And so we worked together long enough to kind of see the need evolve. That's where she met Robert. That's where they came up with the idea for the PARC, which is
Freaking love it.
where we
What does it stand
do
for?
stuff. The Panhandle Adult Rebuilding Center. And
Yeah.
it's fascinating, you guys. It's absolutely fascinating. Like, you could not write a story or a sitcom. It's very sitcom-y. Like, strangely serious and, like, life and death situations, but also
Learning
so
lessons.
bizarre.
Yeah.
And funny and entertaining and precious. So,
Awesome.
yeah, good stuff.
Heck yeah. So here's Valerie.
Okay. And so here's Valerie. So I am really excited today after that guy drives by. Because today we get to speak to my boss and my mentor and my friend, and she's incredible. Her name's Valerie Gooch. Hello. She is the executive director of the PARC, PARC, and if you don't know about it, you really should. So go to theparc.net. Even though she is the executive director and creator, co-founder of such an incredible place and nonprofit for the homeless community, she also does a lot of other really cool things. So
Like what?
here we go. Well, so something that I did want to talk about was how incredible you are at equipping people to be themselves. Because I don't think people realize how much they aren't themselves
Yeah.
most
Yeah,
of the
that's
time.
true.
You know, you're adjusting to the other people around you, or trying to live up to something you think you should be. It could be lots of different things. But again, that is what makes the PARC so incredible, is it's a space created from your brain that enables people to fully be themselves, whether they happen to be homeless or not. And so, anyways, I just wanted to know, have you always felt like you were being yourself?
I would say I have not. I
Sure.
would say that the PARC, when I was able to, the PARC is about 10 years old, and I think that's probably the first place that I ever felt like I could be totally who I am, and it's the right thing to be.
Awesome.
I'm a strong personality, and strong women are not always, don't always go over that well.
Yeah.
And so a lot of my life, I felt like I've had to hold back. You know, I'm also very passionate, and that seems to freak people out. So I've kind of felt like I couldn't be myself because it was too much, that I was too much.
Sure.
Yeah.
I could see that being something that a lot of women in particular deal with. You know, the whole, if you're not a white male in America, then,
Yeah.
Yeah.
then you're probably holding back
Yeah.
in some way or form. But
Are you married?
I am married.
Okay.
In fact, I'm about to celebrate my anniversary.
Nice.
We will have been married. This is crazy. I can't believe I'm so old. 47 years.
Wow. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
that's
You look
crazy.
amazing.
Oh,
You look so good.
you were very kind. I can't believe
No,
you're
I'm
saying
not.
that.
I'm
Yeah,
honest.
thank you.
Awesome. Okay. And he's very supportive of you and your
Yes.
passions.
Oh my goodness, yes. He's probably most of the reason that I am able to do what I do. He's very quiet about it, and he
Yeah.
doesn't say very much, but he's always there. He's always been very supportive of whatever I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So he's good about
Awesome.
that. Yeah.
Do y'all work together or
No.
Okay.
That's what's so interesting. Yeah, is that he's so supportive and so always there and encouraging. But we ask Alicia, we would not work well together.
Right.
But we're very different. He's an engineer. He's very analytical, very
Okay.
logical, talks in a straight line.
Yeah.
I do not think or talk in a straight line at all.
Right, right.
Yeah.
It's a good balance.
It is.
Killer
Yeah,
balance.
it is.
So do you think that you immediately see people's strengths, or is it something that they're kind of blind to, or how do you, whenever you were talking
It's a good
about,
question, yeah.
like, is it something that you have to learn, or are you pretty quick, like, let's say within a few times of meeting them, knowing what their strengths are?
Alexis basically wants to know, how soon can you tell her
Well,
her strengths?
I'm just kidding. Well, it's so funny you should say that. I don't really think about that. Part of my heart is just to see people, and I don't know. I mean, when I see you, I see that I see you're a very good hostess and that you love people, but I also see you're a really good friend.
Aww.
And that you're very strong and loyal. And I mean, I don't know. I just,
Yeah.
that's one of the things that I ask God for. I ask
Awesome.
Him that I see people for who they are. And maybe I think He answers my prayer for that.
That's
Definitely.
awesome. Yeah, that's something that I've been very excited about over the few years that I've had this place. Being able to, I think I am pretty quick at discerning people. And I think that sometimes I don't want to see it. And so I
Yeah.
go past my
It's-
own discernment.
It's
and
a
then I
hard
get-
gift
Yeah.
because sometimes it's not pretty.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Not in your circumstance.
Well, I mean, for you too, because you see it. If you have a gift of discernment, which is what it is,
Yeah.
sometimes you see people before everybody else does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just very curious on how you, like, I know that people like you who do give a lot of energy and effort into helping others, like, how do you take care of yourself? What do you do for yourself?
Well, that's an interesting question. I would say the first thing I do and make sure is that having my relationship with the Lord is really, really important. And so I am very diligent to be sure that time that I have is my priority. I get up early in the morning for that because it is a priority. And if I'm very selfish about it, I spend most of my time talking about myself.
I love it.
But it's I've grown in my relationship with him and feel like I can hear his voice and hear his voice through scripture, but definitely through prayer. And so that feeds me a lot, and if it helps to keep me stable. I also have good friends and relationships that feed into my life. I'm a people person, and so to have good friends around me is always important, and to have those relationships and those connections. And then I try really hard to pay attention. Like I try hard to have some time each week where I'm not doing anything except what I want to do.
Yeah.
Some people call it a Sabbath, I guess. I don't have usually a whole day, but I do make sure I try to have some time at least
a big deal.
every week,
Yeah.
so that I can.
What does that entail? What do you like to do?
I like to read,
Awesome.
and that's probably my most downtime is reading. I enjoy TV or whatever, but I don't have hobbies. I'll say that. Yeah, I'm not like artistic, or I don't have anything.
know of?
I don't do
Yeah.
anything
You know how I
productive.
feel about that.
Yeah, I know. But
Everyone's artistic, by
she
the
tells
way.
me
We'll
that.
get into that one.
know.
yeah, but my stuff looks like crap every time. So yeah, she can say whatever she wants. It's not true.
It's
I love it.
subjective.
Yeah, so it is very subjective.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
do you like to read when you're not reading?
Fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like mysteries, and
Yeah.
I also like I like occasionally a rom-com, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like mysteries a lot.
That's fun.
But it's usually always fiction. I want to get away. I don't want to learn
Sure,
anything. I just
sure.
want to get away.
Yeah.
That's probably why I like reading.
What's one that you've read recently that you really liked?
Well, actually, it was. I'm trying to think. I've read several really. Oh, it was called Ivona Iverson's Rules for Commuting. That was really good. It's a little bit lighter,
Okay.
but it was a very, very good book.
Rules
Yeah.
for commuting.
Yeah.
Rules for
interesting.
Commuting. Yeah, it was good.
I like doing this sort of thing because I go home with a lot of homework. Like, okay, gotta look that up.
Yeah.
Gotta look up this song. Like, where.
You would like that book. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
Are you a
That's
big reader, Alicia?
I would like to be.
Right.
I think it sounds. I do like to read, and Valerie is kind to let me borrow books that she recommends. But like right now, I think I have like 4 that people have lent me that I'm like, man. And then it starts to feel overwhelming, like, oh, I'm never going to get all these books read. But I am going on summer vacation here in a couple weeks or so.
Is
So
it
maybe
because
I'll
you
just
don't have
suddenly
time?
be a weeder?
A weeder?
A wee little weeder?
Is it because you don't have time, or is it
Yeah.
like you just don't find
Well,
interest in?
Our household isn't necessarily quiet.
Yeah.
So even if I am weeding, I don't necessarily like remember what I just read because
Right.
it's very distracting.
Yeah.
But one of these days,
Right.
I'll be a reader.
You know what I realized? I realized that I am really not a reader just because like I need to be doing something. I need to be up and about and doing something. So I really crave to be a reader. So I have decided to have a little journal with me and all the words that I'm like,
There you
what
go.
does that mean? Like today was quasi-scientific.
Oh.
Like
Does that mean just a little bit scientific?
it means like almost perfect.
Oh.
Oh.
So
So scientific is perfect in that word
yeah,
breakdown.
yeah.
That's weird.
Anyway, whatever. We'll get into this.
Quasi.
But I've been like learning as I go, and this is like what's his name? Aziz Ansari, the comedian.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I don't know how to say his last name.
Yes.
But anyway, his book. And it's
Okay.
so funny because he uses like big terms, and he then right after that you're thinking, whoa, he's kind of smart, and then he'll be like, yeah, I just said that.
It's like, yeah, I'm aware.
I know you think I'm brilliant.
I think poop's funny, but I also use that really big word.
Quasi-scientific. Yes. I love
awesome.
it. Yeah. So how did you grow up? Were your parents together? Did they get divorced? Or what's your story?
I always say I've been raised in a bubble. I
Yeah.
had a very great childhood. My parents shouldn't have been successful. My mom was 16 when they got married, and they were very young, and her mom had just been killed in a car accident, and so they neither one had family. And I feel like they just decided to commit to their marriage and to each other, and they did a wonderful job. We had a great family. I had a great childhood. I have a sister that's just a year younger than me, and we were raised in church. It was a very important part of our family. And my parents, they're Christians, but they didn't ever preach to us. They just lived it, and that was our life. You know, it wasn't anything we had to. One of the things I hate is when people use the Bible to teach kids, punish kids or whatever. And that was never a part of our life. My parents just lived it, and they were just good examples of good people. And so the church, I would say, was very much our community. And being raised in that community was, I didn't realize how unique it was. But all of I have very good friends that were in my age group, and we're still friends. We still get together after so many years. And their parents were our parents too. You know, we lived life together. We did church trips together, and so their parents were on the trips. And, you know, we'd spend days at the church, and they'd serve us meals. I mean, everybody did everything together. And so I think having that, it was a little, you know, multi-generational, and also the effects of having just community around was a very secure upbringing. And I think just gave a lot of confidence I wasn't aware that I had, because it wasn't so unique to me until I realized later in years that was a unique thing.
It's kind of sad that is so unique.
Yeah.
Like everybody really needs each other.
Yeah.
I think we all crave it too, like desperately. Even the people who, you know, feel like they're introverts and such. It's like you don't realize what you're missing out on unless you give it a chance. You know,
Everyone needs community.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons that the park is successful, because it is community, and people, when they walk in, they find a sense of being a part of something bigger than themselves. And I think we were created for relationship and community. I agree with that.
Yeah. So was there a moment in time where you were like, I'm supposed to be doing this? like a light bulb moment where you're like, I want to do this and I want it to look this way? Or has it just kind of evolved?
Well, it's evolved. I would say every stage in my life, I've been like that. I remember when I graduated from college, I had a degree in education, and so I taught first grade. And I'm like, this is what I'm made to do. I want to do this the rest of my life. And then, had my kids and chose to stay home with them for a couple years. And then I became a children's pastor at my church. And I was like, this is what I was born to do. This is what I was made to do. I'm going to do it the rest of my life. And so I've just kind of always been all in whatever I'm doing. And so I ended up being a children's pastor for 25 years.
Wow.
And loved it with everything that was in me. And never dreamed I would be doing what I'm doing now. But I will definitely say, this is what I was made to do.
Right. I love
it very much.
And how lucky to like grow in your life and to have all these different things that you've excelled at. And to not just be, the banker.
Right.
For your whole life.
Sure.
Like to have that.
Well, I think it's important. One of the things I had to do when I quit being a children's pastor, because I'd done it for so long, I was like, that was part of my identity. And so I had to figure out who I was and why I loved what I did and did what I did. And I realized that throughout my whole life, my passion was people.
Yes.
I wanted people to know that they could be amazing. I always say God went to too much work to create us for us to just be mediocre. And so if I look at what my passion has been throughout, that's been the running theme in everything I've done.
Amazing.
I do think that's the key. Like, to really love what you're doing is to know the root of why you do it and not just the thing.
Yeah, that's a good way to say that.
And it translates through all the relationships in your life, whether it was those first graders or kids at camp and church, and then now this homeless community, but it's also like the volunteers that are involved and your friendships. Like everyone that is in your life or in the path of your influence at some point in time comes up with that feeling of, oh, she really sees me and helps me see myself better. Because there's times where we have meetings and stuff and I'll come in not knowing how I'm feeling.
You're like, Valerie.
And then I'll leave with like a life plan and I got things and priorities and I'm like, I feel energized and it's such a sweet gift to me. Everyone should try it.
Yeah.
Well, you're very sweet, but you're also a lot of you come up with that yourself, I just ask the questions.
They're good questions, y'all.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, and speaking of that, you were a counselor for a while as too, right?
No, I just have a degree in counseling.
Oh.
Yeah, I've never.
You're just my counselor.
Yeah,
I forgot.
yeah,
Okay.
that's it. Yeah.
Again, something related to people.
Yeah. We were talking the other day with Alexis and Lindsay, who were just doing an interview. And she was talking about how her daughter is really good at asking the right questions. How it's almost weird to be like, hey, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Are there things or questions that you
I don't have
like
routine
her, right?
questions. What I try really hard to do is listen to people and take my questions from that.
Yeah.
And the other thing is I try really hard to listen to them and then to ask them questions rather than making it about myself.
Yes.
Because so many people want to do that. If they are listening to you, it's just so you can finish so they can tell you a story about that. And so I think that helps to ask questions if you're not trying to figure out what you're going to say.
Yeah.
Just trying to get to know that person
Actually
better.
listen.
that
Yeah,
should be the title of this podcast.
Yeah.
Stop waiting for your turn to talk.
That is really good. Yes. Let's write a book.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
love that.
Alexis might read it one day.
Yeah. Write all my vocabulary.
I want to carry a sign around that tells other people that.
Yeah. What's a day like for you two? Like, do y'all get to spend a lot of time together?
Not enough.
No, we really don't. I mean,
Do you only give her an hour before you charge her?
Yeah. She should.
Yeah.
Funny.
She only works 2 days a week, and then she usually works really hard. So we just don't get to spend that much time together. But we've been friends for so long. I think that we're just connected you know, and sometimes, and we try to be intentional about it, but
Yeah.
It is kind of like reading. Like, I have to be very intentional with time.
I think you're
Try to
excellent
get
at
to
that.
that. Oh, thank you, my gosh.
You're welcome.
yeah.
So I was looking on Instagram and I saw the rooftop thing
Oh,
that y'all did.
yeah.
It was so cool.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we had a rooftop fundraising event last fall, and it was just so good. It was on top of, it's the Amarillo parking garage, Amarillo building
Yeah,
parking garage.
city of Amarillo, yeah.
Yeah, it like
Wow.
faces Hodgetown and the sunset, and it was a good night. The park, I will say, has excellent fundraisers every
Yes.
fall. So
Amazing.
stay tuned and come to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, that's
so fun.
That's one of my favorite things, is because Alicia just shines in situations like that. She's so creative, and she's so good at coming up with ideas and executing them, and so we have a team of people, and everybody is doing these amazing things.
Yes.
And when it comes together, it's just an incredible event. And that's one of my favorite things, is to watch everybody doing things within their own abilities, strengths, and gifts, and coming together and making something fabulous.
Yes.
I love that. And so that's probably my favorite thing about that event, is that I'm not that person. I'm not creative at all, but I love watching everybody else do such
Yeah.
amazing things.
Aww.
Yeah,
It's
it's pretty
like
cool.
the power of delegation at its finest.
Yes. Are you good at that? Are you good
Well,
at delegating?
No,
So-
she is not.
That she will be the first to say
Yes.
that is
Yeah.
a long time of life committed to trying to be better about that.
Yeah, because you want to do everything on your own, or you're just too sweet to be like, hey, do this.
Both. Or like there's also this aspect of like
Control.
well, okay, yeah.
Let me help you with
yeah,
that
that's
word.
true too.
Yeah. So I want to insert in here.
Yep.
People think delegating is like being bossy or making people
Not
do
at
stuff.
all.
That is
Yeah.
not. It's giving other people an opportunity to be a part of what is happening and to step into the things that they're good at. Even
Yeah.
they might not even know they're good at it.
Sure.
But it's giving them an opportunity. And so many times I think delegate is used negatively.
Sure.
And it's not a negative word.
Yes, not
It's
at
a
all.
powerful thing, really. I have seen it play out so beautifully so many times. And that is something that Valerie excels at. It's like knowing your strengths and doing those things, and then knowing your not strengths.
Yes.
And letting other people do their strength within that.
Yeah.
Like, why would, like, that whole thing's going to be that much better.
Right.
So I definitely, it's funny because you do want to control, and yet when you relinquish that, it's only going to make it better.
Yes.
But it is also nice because of the park and the environment that Valerie's created. Like, there's no sense of failure. Like, you try lots of things, and some of them are incredible, and some of them are not incredible, and it just
It doesn't matter. if they're
continues
not,
to
yeah.
grow. Yeah, and just build on itself. And yeah, I've learned a lot.
Yeah. And you've been
We
there
all
how
have.
long?
10 years.
Yeah.
You've been there 10 years?
Yeah,
I
she
was-
helped us start it.
I didn't know that.
I was.
What's your last name? No. I'm just
Right. Who even are you? Yeah. So I have been able to work for Valerie for even longer than that, maybe 3 years, 13 years or so. And so when we worked together, that's where she initially saw, her and our co-founder Robert saw like that need to connect to people rather than just offer them things that they seemingly need.
Yeah.
Which obviously, yes, you need food and clothing and water and a place to be safe. But you also need like eye contact and to know that you have a name and we
Right.
remembered it. And like she was saying earlier, actually listening to people, the power of a homeless person coming in, you remember their name, and then you ask them a question that they talked about the other day. Like, that is a game changer for a human's soul.
Oh, yeah.
And so, yeah, I was able to be a part of some of the initial meetings, and our board was how many people? Like,
Well,
seven.
six or seven, yeah.
And
We met around my dining room table. Yeah.
Table.
But she's like, she also she's been with us from the beginning. She's done all our branding. She's done every bit of design that's ever been done. She's always overseen that. So
Talk about control.
yeah, she is. But that doesn't make me sad about that.
Yeah.
But she really has. She set a standard for us of excellence, and in those things from before the beginning. We had a business plan. We none of us knew what we were doing, but we had a business plan, and every time we'd go talk to somebody, we'd have to change it. And Alicia she designed it every single time, so we looked professional, and excellent. So she's selling herself a little bit short.
Thank you.
So good.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible we just broke ground on the expansion that we're getting into as we speak. And so just that hard tactile moment of like, this is how far y'all have come.
Yes.
Like, that was pretty surreal.
That's amazing.
And it's weird to have such it's like when you turn a certain age and you think, oh my gosh, 40 years. And it's just such a finite moment. And it was cool to see, like, oh, this is it. This is what we've been working for.
Yeah, it's pretty
This
surreal.
is cool.
So cool.
So
it's pretty
It's
surreal.
been neat.
Very cool.
So on that note, you should come and look at our current building, because
I'd
it
love
won't
to.
be the current building for
Yeah.
much longer in retrospect. But
I'd love to. So how do the homeless people know that you're there?
Mainly through the community.
Okay.
That's where most of them hear about it. And then also a lot of the agencies that they work with will recommend that they come because we're a safe place. And
How does that work? What when you say agencies that they work with? Like, do people go out and talk to them?
well, like when they need help,
Okay.
they go to different places.
They have to come to you. They
Right.
have to go
Yes.
to. Okay.
They do have to come to us. And, if it's out, like these shelters tell them about us, or like a lot of times police officers will tell them about us. And they also work with like agencies that help them with medical and, different things like that when they have needs, or give them food.
Yeah.
Those are the people that a lot of people recommend us when they're looking for something.
Amarillo really is pretty good about everyone's in it for the same reason, to help, and so we try to all kind of work together and
collaborate. Yeah.
I love it.
Be a part of the solution, if you will. But yeah, to kind of come back to like that discernment, do you think you've had that your whole life?
I do. I think that I didn't know what to do with it, but I do. I think it's a gift, that from the Lord. But I think that you have to learn how to use it.
Use your powers for good.
Yeah, I was going to say that, and I thought that sounded kind of cheesy. It's exactly what I.
Powers combined.
Yeah, because when you do have discernment, you do see like bad things sometimes too.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So,
is there a story that sticks out in your mind where you saw something and you're like, nope, not getting into that, or like you're saying, like the bad side of it?
I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Sure.
Yeah, there are just people that, give off vibes, and
Sure.
everybody has that though to a point.
Sure.
Yeah. I think with mine, it's not something that, in your situation, you want to help everybody. In my situation, I'm like, are we going to be best friends?
Yeah, I have that in me.
Check.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what other questions we had.
Yeah, I was just asking about childhood, because you do help so many people, and it's like, what did your childhood look like for you to, because you got it and you were around that community and you felt what it could provide to you, and that's
a lot of people go into a helping career, so to speak, because they didn't have it, and they want to So they have that need, and so they're trying to provide it for other people. And I always say I'm the least qualified to be doing what I'm doing because I'm I've never been homeless, and I have never had an addiction, and I'm even weird for a Christian. I haven't done a lot of things that people have done. I've just been in this little bubble thing, and so I'm very unqualified.
Yeah.
But it's. So, I don't really know why I get to do it. I do feel it's an honor. I love it very much. So I don't know why I get to, but I'm just really grateful.
Yeah.
I don't know the reasons. I don't know, if my background helped. I don't know any of that.
Yeah.
I just know that I get to do it.
Well, it shows. It shows that you're grateful, and that's just like the foundation to happiness is being grateful. And I feel like it would be hard to be a happy person in seeing what you see every day, but you get to see all these success stories that you had a part in, which I know you probably wouldn't sit here and say I had anything to do with that.
Well, the thing is that even if you don't have the success, so to speak, I get to know them, these most amazing people, and I get to see them in ways other people don't get to.
Yeah, for
And, even the people that come in, they're, some of them are so dirty, and some of them have mental illness and are they're high or whatever. But we get the honor of really getting to see them for who they are, and it's incredible to get to have that experience. With people that we would have never even met before. And so I guess a lot of people would do it for the reasons, for success, and that's true. It's important, but it's not the best part, I don't think.
It is interesting too because the park is the center, and all these different lives come into it. And it's not just the homeless community, but it's also, like I was saying earlier, like the volunteers. There's people that, like you're saying, I would have never interacted with or even known, and they're incredible people. And the donors, and just it's neat how the park is just a building, but it's also an insane, incredible community that draws different people in constantly. It's really cool.
One of the things I love to think about is we have Dr. Long, who's the past president of WT. He teaches a class every week. And so you have a past university president teaching class, a creative writing class, to people that are homeless, and some of them don't know how to read. Many of them didn't graduate. And so you have these diverse communities coming together, and it's just a community.
It's precious. It's so cool.
And we have a lot of volunteers like that are professionals and highly educated, and some that aren't. Everybody's just everybody. It's just a really great place.
It's so cool.
I love it. Well, cool. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Yes.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
You're beautiful, and I love you.
Yep.
I love you.
We'll see you again.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It definitely takes a certain kind of person to go from all the different career paths that she was on to figuring out that this is something that the community needed and to build it from the ground up. And, now it's super successful. And I don't know, I'm not in the homeless community, but I've heard of the park multiple, all over town before, so it's obviously got quite a bit of success, and you guys are doing some pretty cool stuff.
It's definitely taken a beat because it's hard to explain, right? You say the word homelessness and people automatically picture the guy on the corner, which don't give money to them, okay?
Yeah.
But they, it's hard to explain. No, we don't give them food necessarily. We don't give them clothing. We don't give them showers. We are there for them to feel safe and productive with their time. There's nowhere for the homeless community to go during the day. They get booted out of shelters in the mornings and stuff. And so it can be hard. Even if the weather's nice, it's still hard and kind of scary.
Yeah.
And so it's nice for them to feel safe. And we find that they're actually very protective of the park too. They'll be the first to say, hey, you can't act like that here, or, you know, like
that's awesome.
defending their own space. And
That's amazing.
I will say that something that Valerie is so good at is trying to shift that mindset, which is hard. I mean, how do you like change that culture of how they're seen? And so something that when I was listening back to the podcast, I realized something that I didn't say enough was that we try to refer to them as people experiencing homelessness, because anyone who's labeled in their life is going to experience whatever that label is.
And that doesn't
get
define who
stuck
they are.
there.
They're a person first and foremost with
Yes.
these strengths and these weaknesses
Sure.
and you know,
Exactly.
past experiences and future goals and all that kind of
Exactly.
stuff. Yeah.
And you're-
Totally.
Yeah, words have power.
Totally.
Yeah, I try really hard not to be mean to myself and like say,
Sure.
I'm a loser.
Your own
the
labels.
loser who sat
I-
at home doing nothing to do.
Your
Yeah.
own labels.
Yeah.
Like, dang it, don't
Such
do
an artist. What a
No, I
flaky person.
I definitely have to work on that. Like, I'm noticing it more and more, but here's a good example, and then I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
Just real quick. Last night, we were cleaning up the kitchen, we went to dinner last night to Jason's Deli, so never
Just
mind.
kidding.
But he was doing something in the kitchen. I don't know. And I was walking off, and he was like, hey, by the way, thanks for keeping the house so clean and the yard and everything done and,
What's
you
that
know,
like?
the laundry and all that. And I was like, are you being sarcastic? And he was like, no. And I was like, well, I could do better. That's what I said. And then I was like, why did I
Nice
just do that to
compliment.
myself?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
why did I
sure.
just do that?
Yeah.
But anyway, I gotta get better.
Not to crazy segue down this rabbit hole, but it is strangely difficult not to belittle homesteading. Is that the right word?
Probably,
Like
yeah.
taking care
Yes.
of your home
Yeah.
and your family and your food and your
Right.
money. Like, it seems like, duh, like you should do those things.
Yeah.
And so also a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
So
Yes, agreed.
it can be a skill set that is easily overlooked.
And especially people who are out of work, you know, sometimes it's a accomplishment to shower that day for a lot of people.
Sure.
You know, like
Sure.
sometimes people go into really dark places.
Sure.
And so I was telling you all the other day when my sister was here, I can't sit and just watch TV because I'm not working. Like, I have to be doing something because I feel like that's my job right now because I'm not working in any other place. This right now is my job.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But after he said that, I was like, I could do better. Then I was like, whoa, that was so uncalled for.
Did you say that to him?
No, but I said it to myself because I was like, by
Yeah.
this time I was like already in the bedroom and I was like, what? Why? Did I
There's
just
so
say
many
that?
things that
Sure.
I feel like if I were to just tell Jordan, man, I didn't mean that the way it sounded
Right.
or
Yeah.
whatever, things would be fixed
Squash it.
immediately.
There would
Sure.
be no fights. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I know you had a question about
Yes.
Valerie.
Well,
I'm going to take notes so I remember mine.
this is what I was going to say. Hold on.
Oh, something Valerie taught me
Yeah.
is when you're in a conversation and you can't say something, if you cross your fingers to remind yourself, then you'll think, oh, why are my fingers crossed? And then
Oh.
it
Okay.
doesn't always work, but it sure
Yeah.
helps me a lot.
That's what I was
So
gonna
if you
say,
ever
but-
look over and I'm all, I got my, everything's crossed and I'm stressing, just say
But
it.
here's my issue. That would be great and fine, but it doesn't tell me why am I crossing my fingers? What was I going to say?
I'm going to try and
You got to practice.
Yeah.
I already forgot.
Yes, I know. Me too.
Okay, no. I remember. I'm going to go, okay?
Yeah, go. Because I don't remember. So go. Yeah. God.
When she said passionate women scare people,
Oh yeah.
that was my
Shot
favorite.
to the heart.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
But after hearing it, you're like, wow, that is so true.
It is.
It's a stigma.
It's like that classic, that phrase of like, if you're a strong woman, you're bossy, and if you're a strong man, I forget.
boss.
I've obviously butchered the crap out of the phrase.
We know
but,
exactly what you know. But yes, that's so true. And I feel like I surround myself with those types of people in my life. Like my closest friends, you, Perry, Erica,
Alicia.
are all very strong, passionate people, like super passionate. And I think that I thrive to have those kind of people in my life because I'm not necessarily, I mean, I'm passionate, but I'm not bold enough to be outwardly
you
passionate.
like the structure.
Yeah.
You like the habits.
Yeah. It's funny that so many people are intimidated by that because I thrive in
Need
that.
it.
Yes, I crave that
Yeah.
kind of interaction.
Yeah.
That's actually the same for me. I actually really enjoy being told what to do.
Yes, me too.
Because I like knowing what's expected of me, and then I like being in control of that outcome.
Yes.
Hopefully, obviously I have control issues, but it's fine. But it's nice working with and being around people who are driven, who have vision, because I am cheerleader number one. Like,
Yes, same.
can support, I will do the work, I will
I am the
make
best
the
assistant
stuff.
you will ever know.
Oh, I
I
know.
can assist the shit out of being an assistant.
Assistant to the assistant manager.
Yes. Like, I will do so good.
That's probably why we're on our podcast.
I love that. Herb.
Yeah. There was one other thing I was going to say. The other thing that I really took from this podcast that I was like, God, that's something else that like just kind of pulled at the heartstrings was not like identifying a homeless person as a homeless person, remembering their name,
Eye contact.
like eye contact and like knowing, bringing back up what y'all talked about last week and, whatever, like that kind of, or how impactful making them feel important is to someone who's going through such a rough time could be, like you said, a game changer. It
And
could mean the
it's-
world.
It's interesting to watch the room shift to Valerie. The area where we all do the park, we refer to it as the room. And Valerie's presence, it's somehow authoritative and so kind. And it's like she carries such a strong acceptance but still expectation. Like, you can be whoever you're truly supposed to be, but you're also gonna act right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But
that's a
yeah.
big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, the person you're supposed to be is expected
Yeah.
to have that self-confidence and self-respect, and then people will respect you.
Respect others.
Yes.
Yeah. Totally.
I love
So
it.
great.
For sure.
The song that I woke up with in my head this morning was I Want to Break Free by Queen.
Nice.
No idea why, but I was like, just really.
I guess you need to.
The fact you can
Yeah.
remember what song you woke up thinking, like I
love
was
that.
so mad yesterday because I cannot remember the song I was singing in my sleep the entire night before.
but you know it's in there.
yes,
Yeah.
Cannot
Well, the only reason I'm sure why I remember is because it was like the first thing I said when I woke up. I'm all, hey, you know what song I have in my head? And then I just was singing it for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But we talked about Ryan Gosling having a band. You know who else has a band?
Who? Not Ryan
Michael
Reynolds.
Cera.
Oh. Oh.
And this sweet little song called Clay Pigeons is what I added to my playlist. Hold on.
Does he sing?
Just wait real quick.
Crap, is he my new crush?
Yep.
The railway station, gonna get a ticket to ride. Find a big fat lady with two or three kids.
I can see his face.
I know.
He's so cute.
That's delightful.
Okay, so I'm sending it to y'all.
Yeah, please do.
Awesome.
That's going to be the last song I add.